Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. Look, things were already bad in New York. People were moving to Florida. People were moving to Tennessee, South Carolina, and other states to get out of the high tax environment of New York and the terrible business climate. But now, not only is money leaving the state of New York, new money isn't even coming in after the absurd ruling by Judge Engoron. And on top of that, you're going to see this clip from Kathy Hochul where she lauds Tish James. And before, when she was saying it's only about Trump and other businesses don't have to worry, I want you to listen closely to what she says here.
I just got off the phone with Attorney General Tish James and spoke to her about how this sends a strong message that in the state of New York, business people who commit fraud and to hide their assets.
Note that what she says is not simply talking about President Trump. She's talking about all business owners who commit fraud. What fraud? There were no victims.
Will be caught and prosecuted, whether you're the President of the United States, a past president and forever past president of the United States, or you're an ordinary business person. No one is above the law here in the state of New York.
Stop the presses, people. No one is above the law in the state of New York. That must mean Judge Engoron is going to jail, because out of the Gateway Pundit, Judge Engoron accused of banging secretary of opposing counsel in previous case. This dates all the way back to 2002 and is just getting resurrected. On Friday, far-left Judge Arthur Engoron fleeced $355 million for President Trump for taking out loans in New York State and paying them back on time with interest. The charges were brought against Trump by crazed New York State Attorney General Letitia James. There were no victims in the so-called crime. The banks did their due diligence before they loaned Donald Trump the money and testified that they would gladly do it again. But there's a problem with good old Arthur Engoron. The article of bonus torso photo judge goes on to state, according to reports, Judge Engoron has been married 3 times and has 4 children. But Arthur Engoron is no Boy Scout. Engoron was banging, the wording on this, the secretary of opposing counsel during a previous case, a complete ethics violation. The Jewish Telegraphic Agency reported this in 2002. Nathan Lewin, a defense attorney for the Union of Orthodox Rabbis of the United States and Canada, said the court's January 23rd ruling against his client in several pretrial decisions is suspect because of that relationship, of which he was not informed until late last month. Lewin is defending the rabbis in an $11 million defamation suit filed by Helen Chai-Seeger of Borough Park, who claims their decision to allow her husband to remarry without requiring him to grant her a rabbinic divorce, I don't even know what that is, in effect, labeled her an unfit spouse. Lewin said in court papers that law secretary Arthur Engoron, so he was a law secretary at the time, claims he only began dating the secretary of the opposing counsel, Christopher Sullivan, on May 10th. But Lewin said Sullivan's actions in the case may have been influenced by information he received from the woman identified in the papers only as Sue. And Lewin noted that Engoron was drafting later decisions and communicating with the judge about this case during the time he was dating Sue. Schoenfield, at the request of the defendants, recused himself from the case July 1st after revealing that he had recently learned of the relationship. He said Engoron's conduct raised ethical questions and that he would report to the appropriate authorities. Apparently, though, the appropriate authorities never did anything. I thought no one was above the law, Kathy.
And I congratulate her and her effort for making sure that that is a message that is heard loud and clear, not just here in New York, but across this entire nation.
Oh, yes, Kathy, it's been getting plenty of attention to the people who own businesses. In fact, Grant Cardone, and I've known of Grant Cardone for years because I used to sell seminars, sales seminars and that type of thing, and he was a big name in that. But now he's a private equity fund manager and so on. But he had actually tweeted this out because he actually has Cardone Capital, where they invest in real estate projects. He said this: real estate projects in Illinois, New York, New Jersey, and California now carry too much headline risk for pensions funds, lenders, and public real estate investment trusts. This will result in an accelerated decline in property values, escalating an increase in loan defaults. This could roll over to regional banks and worse, pension funds who've invested heavily in these projects. Trump ruling of $355 million is precedent threat to all real estate investors, homeowners, banks, and pension funds in the USA. And he further went on to say, "Dear Cardone Capital team, immediately discontinue all underwriting on New York City real estate. The risk outweigh the opportunities at this time. Recent political decisions will continue to deteriorate price and benefit states that don't have these challenges. Focus on Texas and Florida." Grant Cardone. So he's looking at this court ruling, knowing it's not just a court decision, people, it's a political decision. Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, was on Fox Business yesterday, and I shared that, but then he went on CNN. It got even better.
Wouldn't there be many companies who would not want to do business or loan money to people like yourself or investors if they know that they can get away with fraud and there's no recourse to protect them?
Excuse me, what fraud? This is not about Trump anymore. When you get a developer that builds a building and he says it's worth $400 million and he wants to borrow $200 million from a bank, which happens every day, everywhere on earth, including every American city. Every developer is an entrepreneur. They shine the light on their building and they say it's worth 400. The bank does its own due diligence, as was done in this case, because they're very good at it. The banks are very good, and they say, no, it's worth 300. We're only going to loan you 150 million. That haggling has gone on for decades.
I experienced this on a small scale, folks. I'm not some Donald Trump or Kevin O'Leary type investor, but I did do a real estate development here in the state of Minnesota. It was a lakeshore investment, and I thought the lots would sell for X, and the bank said, well, we think they'll sell for Y. There was a little haggling. We came up with a number. The bank was very good at this. This is what they do. They loan on lakeshore property. They had done multiple developments. They know and understand. We haggled back and forth. We set the price. We had the money to do the roads, everything we needed to do, bring in power to the lots, and then we sold it. We made money. The bank got paid ahead of schedule. We did really well on the deal. Everybody was happy. Banks take that risk upon themselves when they loan, and they're very good at it.
That's how it works. And then in this case, even the bank that was supposedly defrauded testified and said, we didn't lose anything. We want to do business with this guy again. We'd like to. But the judge said, no. Let's penalize this developer for $355 million. And if we're going to do that, let's penalize all the developers all across America. They've all done the same thing. All of them should go to jail, and we should stop building buildings. That's what the message is from New York. Even the governor herself is concerned about what this looks like to investors all around the world. It's not just U.S. domestic. All around the world, people are talking about what happened here. You really think people want to invest money in New York after this? How about we go somewhere else?
I think there are people who would, I don't want to cut you off, but I want to converse with you instead.
You just did.
It's only because I want to have a conversation,
you know what?
Kevin,
I respect
as opposed
you,
to just having
I respect
you tell
you because
me.
you're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. You understand exactly what I'm talking about.
I got to tell you, I'm respectable for a number of reasons, Kevin O'Leary, but being a lawyer is one of those issues. But I'll tell you.
Wait, did some climate in America change where lawyers are now a respected profession? Because I happen to know they've always made the top 5 list for the most untrusted people in America.
I understand that there are legitimate concerns that were raised during the trial and will continue to be raised about who the quote-unquote, who is actually bringing the suit. It wasn't the banks who were saying that we as consumers or unsophisticated feel this way. But Letitia James, the Attorney General, and I know you want to expand beyond Trump, has suggested, well, it's about making the playing field level for those who are not the major and billionaire investors, but for those who are supposed to put business records out there, want to get a loan, the idea of making sure that they have to have the same true statements included as those who have a lot more money. Is there any weight to that for you?
Well, I asked you who lost money. And I'll make it even clearer. You and I, we're developing a data center together. And I say to you, we can go to New York, where this just happened. It's your money now. You're now an investor, and you're taking risk. You're an entrepreneur with me, right beside me. We're together on the deal. Or I can show you Oklahoma, North Dakota, West Virginia, where the governors actually ran businesses. Let's go there, where this never happened before. They have power. They have permits. They've got legislation that's supportive of entrepreneurship. Why would we go to New York? Why take the risk? My only point is, did we just diminish the great state of New York and the great people of New York? And shouldn't they ask for better management so they don't become a flyover state? Remember, New York has the highest taxes in the country, the worst regulatory environment, and it's incredibly mismanaged. And I'm pointing out now, on top of that, you get this insanity. A victimless crime. And forget about Trump. It's not about Trump. I don't care about Trump in this. I care about America, and I care about entrepreneurship, and I care about democracy and the fairness. The judicial system is now being criticized. People are asking themselves, the bar of New York, is this judge rational to charge $355 million in a case where no one lost any money? Is that good for the people of New York? Should the people of New York wake up to this and say, what's happening to us? Why is this becoming so perverse? Why are we the focus of this injustice? And I had nothing to do with Trump. I'm not supporting Trump. I'm supporting American entrepreneurship. And New York is slowly becoming the #1 loser state in America. I'm sorry, that's what's happening.
What he just asked there is the key question, people. Why would you want to do business in New York? As a business owner myself, as someone who's used to taking risks, I do assess risk and I go, wow, this is a friendly climate. This is an unfriendly climate. This is an opportunity to make money. This is an opportunity to lose money. And you stay away from those losers. New York right now is a loser. Look, all the states that are having a big influx of people, be it Idaho, be it Tennessee, be it Florida, be it the Dakotas even, Wyoming, these are states that actually value business. And they are states that coincidentally are led by conservative Republican governors. Texas would be another one. We don't, look, they have wrecked themselves. Blue states have wrecked themselves. And now when you see a ruling like this is over the top. Please check out my sponsor, My Pillow, and get some of those flannel Giza sheets. They are phenomenal. I just tried them. I always had the Giza sheets, but the flannel ones I got a couple nights ago, I can't stop talking about them. They're so smooth, so soft, and so warm. You'll love them. Use mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack for big savings. We'll catch you on the next episode. Remember to subscribe. Peace out.